It's the NFL on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the New York Giants and the Miami Dolphins. Coming up next.
We are about 15 or so miles northwest of world-famous Miami Beach as we are set for football at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. Happy to be on hand. I'm Brandon Gunn with Charles Davis. And before we kick, partner, your keys to the game, please.
Well, my keys are on the defensive side of the ball for both teams. And the big one, making sure you avoid giving up the big play. These safeties are going to get tested all game long. Their job, keep the ball in front of them, tackle people, make them run extra plays in order to try and score.
The kicker, Graham Gano, set to put his foot into this one. And we are underway from Hard Rock Stadium. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaking up on the play. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. Throwing to start here is Tua. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Here's 2nd and 10. They'll run. Here's Devon Achane. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
In motion, Hill. Off of play action, Tagovailoa. He's got his target. That's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A very well-executed play. It goes for 29 yards. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that 3rd down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
So the drive takes him into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Hill. And this is not going to work as planned. It'll be blown up behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. Up the middle, Achane. And good work there in open space, and he's got this all the way down now to the 32. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only they're controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the 2nd and the 3rd levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. And that's just a solid, good physical run there as he motors for 9 yards. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on 1st down.
From the 23, here's 2nd down and a yard. Now they'll send Waddle in motion left. Now they'll throw with Tagovailoa. When in doubt, do it yourself as he keeps it for 3 and a 1st down.
As he came to the line of scrimmage, he knew he didn't need much to reset the chain, so when he saw the space he needed, no hesitation. He went to the marker and got his guys a first down.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. An unfortunate time for the penalty there. That cancels out a positive play from this offense.
Well, not to sound too trite or too accepting, but you and I both know it happens. You got to accept it and move on. Yardage, you got to get back. Focus on the next play, move on.
And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, 1st and goal. They'll run, H-N. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Here's where we need to see some tenacity from this defense because they've been pushed right down the field on this opening drive. They've got to find some way to push back, and that's a good first step.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Now they'll send Waddle in motion left. Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. H-N. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped them, bringing up 4th down.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. They're going for it. Here's Madison. And not only will he not get in, he's going to lose yardage. They stuff him back at the 4. They stop him on 4th and goal at the 3. And on the opening drive of the ball game, the defense comes up with a goal line stand. So now here are the Giants backed up to start their first drive. Leading him out is their rookie quarterback, the young man out of Ole Miss.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they give up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on 1st down. That's what they talk about us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Again, it's Jaxson. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Consecutive catches for him. That good for 11. Well, they told us that he was just going to be a bear to defend. And usually tight ends are, Charles, but he's no exception to that rule. His 2nd catch of the opening possession, and it gets him a 1st down.
Yeah, and they certainly saw something on his earlier reception. He went back and reported what he found. And one of the things about him, He's like a wide receiver to me, Brandon. He has a great sense of space and understanding where defenders are.
Yeah, we talk all the time, Charles, and it kind of gets cliche about the hands that he has, but really it's the truth. For a tight end, some of the best hands in the game. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Back to throw here. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, offenses always try to be smart about when they're trying to dial up a screen to the running back because they understand you can only go to the well so many times in the game without the defense starting to anticipate the call.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll look to throw here. Complete. It's Jaxson. And he's got another 1st down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 44-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. Well, on 3rd down, he wanted to go to one of his most dependable targets, and that's who he found, his tight end there, to pick up the first, Charles.
And you use the proper word there, dependable, and sometimes spectacular, because tight ends nowadays, they can do it all. But they're the guys you trust, especially across the middle of the field where there's traffic. He delivers, and they pick up nice yardage.
Tracy going to get it on 1st down. Oh, what a move. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a 1st down. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Darius Slayton, an 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Giants go nearly the length of the field and finish it off with 6 points. Those are the drives that prove a lot. You got a rookie quarterback, Charles. You're on the road, takes him down, throws the touchdown pass.
And in a game like this, with, as you described, a rookie quarterback, the team usually says, okay, we got to take care of this guy. We got to protect him. But when he goes out and plays like this on the first drive on the road, he doesn't have to say, I'm here to be your leader. They just need to follow him.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. Giant football, and we're ready to begin the 2nd quarter as they've got it as we resume action. Gano out to kick this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. So Miami coming out for their 2nd drive. They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on 4th down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't even want to get to a 4th down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah, I think a little bit of determination and a dash of anger.
2nd and 10. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the 1st down marker. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
In motion, Hill. Out of the gun on 3rd down. Here's Tua. And this is going to be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
Well, they've moved the ball okay here in these first 2 drives, but this one's going to, again, amount to nothing. They've got to start dialing up some plays that allow them to finish drives with points.
On 4th down, Ryan Stonehouse on to punt. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10.
So the Giants getting the football back here for their second drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
Jordan Brooks on the tackle.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run. But the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Jalen Phillips, the former first-rounder, getting in there for the sack. Well, you could almost see his eyes light up defensively. I mean, as a linebacker, that's about as quick as you can get to a quarterback.
So what did your 3rd-grade teacher teach you about straight lines, right? As soon as you have those, you take full advantage of them. He found a gap in the offensive line, got to the quarterback, and put him on the deck.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw.
Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
Partner, we've got ourselves a ball game, and those guys on defense, they came to play. Slipped up on their first series, but they're definitely settling in now and letting it be known that points won't come so easy again.
And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away. Returnable here from the 38. It'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. And it'll be Dolphin football. Miami set to take over. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3-and-out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
From the gun, it's Tua. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jalen Waddle, 55 yards. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. He's tough to contain as it is, but in man coverage with a pretty deep pass downfield, really tough to contain.
And it's so difficult because every play you've got to consider he might try and run past you. So your goal as a defensive back is to give him plenty of cushion, meaning lots of space between you and him. If he wants to catch the short stuff, come up and secure the tackle, hit him a bunch during the game, and try and keep him in front. But if you turn your head for a second, if your concentration wanes,
bye-bye.
He just takes off and goes, and I think that's what we just saw there.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and we are tied at 7. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The New York set to take the field. And these guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Here's a 2nd and 9 now from the 29. He'll look to throw. Under pressure, and down he goes. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
So a tough situation to overcome here. 3rd and 17.
They'll drop to throw. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
Nice call on defense, rolling out the nickel package for that big 3rd down play, and they did an excellent job locking down coverage and forcing him to try and run for it, and he doesn't get there, which brings up a big 4th down call.
On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And it's fielded at the 34.
So a good punt there, but a very strong 14-yard return. And they will take over 1st and 10. Miami's offense set and ready to go. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And the slot man goes in motion left.
Now a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll instead run up the middle.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Hey, we often talk about defensive ends setting the edge, sometimes even the outside linebackers, but how about here? This is a cornerback essentially setting the edge and finishing off that play for a loss.
Looking to pass. Tua. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage.
Certainly not the way they drew it up in the playbook, but that's why they love this guy back there. He sees things breaking down, and he's more than capable of finding an escape route and still getting a decent gain.
The offense on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Tua going to throw.
Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
Credit the Giants defense that time in pass coverage. 4th down.
And this defense definitely in his head there on 3rd down, and he's pretty fortunate. They didn't call him for grounding on this one. That was a good 10 feet over everyone's head.
So 4th down, Tua departs, and on is Jason Sanders and the Dolphin field goal unit.
Sanders' kick is good, and the Dolphins have taken the lead.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here.
As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
17 yards on the catch and run. It's a 1st down. Two minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. Back to throw now on 1st down.
Able to locate his man Slayton on an out route.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. So the completion good for 7 there. And it's 2nd down. They'll set up a throw.
Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by the former first-rounder Artie Burns. And the Dolphins are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
Good starting field position for the Dolphins as they have it 1st and 10 at their 38. They complete it to Hill. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
Now a 2nd and 2. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Complete to Washington. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. Creeping up on a minute to play in this 1st half. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Hill. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left. Now Tua. Over the middle and complete to Waddle. And Waddle going to have a Dolphins 1st down as the tackle made at the 31-yard line. Now a timeout called for by the offense as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the 1st half. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's Tua. Short throw to Smith. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
2nd down and 4. Tua setting up shop to throw again. Ball hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Tua sets up to pass it. Pass taken in by his big tight end. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the 1st half. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. They fake the handoff. Now Tua. Toward the sideline. Intercepted. And the Giants are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far, and they just threw some away on that snap. And look, let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play will be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point. Is this the spot where those points were given away and could cost them a ball game?
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And with only 9 seconds remaining, well, not much time, we'll see how they play this. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break.
As we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
It was a strong first half from the lefty, Tua Tagovailoa. He was on point, throwing a touchdown pass to help his guys take the lead into the break.
And able to get this out to the 25. The Giants offense set to begin this third quarter. And they do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them, because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline.
Open man, that's Malik Neighbors. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 47. He'll look to throw. Pass is caught by Wan'Dale Robinson. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. Now 2nd and 3. Straight ahead, here's Tracy. Only a yard of the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Third down, here's Tracy. And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a 1st down. 43 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
They go play action here on 1st down. Throw out wide is incomplete.
They have their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
Now a 2nd and 10. On play action, they'll throw. That one taken in by Neighbors. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
And I think he just wanted to give the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area. And after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. He'll drop to throw. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he will have a Giants 1st down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the 2nd half.
Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I know they'd love to take some heat off of that young quarterback, but so far, not much in the running game, and this won't help things either. A loss on that play.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. That's complete to Slayton.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And the Giants are going to have a first and goal coming up as they find a way to convert there on 3rd and 1.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
So another third down conversion, and now they've got a first and goal.
They'll hand it to Tracy.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
Right back to Tracy.
And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Escaping the under pressure now, and he's going to go down just inside the 5-yard line. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't, and a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to end up with a nickname after something like that, some Big Jelly or something like that.
On 4th down, on is Graham Gano for the Giants field goal.
From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Gano's kick is good, and that will knot us up at 10.
Well, I don't know if they would have gone for it on 4th and goal anyway, but the sack on 3rd down pretty much made their mind up for them.
You're exactly right about that, and this is a tough place on the field to take a sack because, as you just noted, it took the decision-making away from them. Now they have to go for a field goal instead of potentially going for it.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half.
And their 3-point halftime lead gone now, back to a tie game. But, Charles, I don't imagine that changes too much for this offense.
I would agree. I don't think it changes much at all, whether it's a 3-point lead or a tie game. They know they have their work cut out for them, and they were going to run their offense in the same vein.
That one goes for 24 yards.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they've got to do a much better job of accounting for these shorter routes.
They'll swing this out wide. Here's Achane.
And he's got this down to the 35.
15 more yards there, and quickly another first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Snap will come from the 31 on 2nd and 7. A run straight ahead with Achane.
Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
They need 2. Here's 3rd down. They'll run for it with Achane.
And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24.
3rd and 2, right? So this is a situation where low man has got to win at the line of scrimmage, but it's not just the low man winning. It's the low man who's winning with some force, and they had that to pick up the first down.
Barely picking it up, but they did. On play action, here's Tua. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Miami. Knotted up here at 10. That's our score as we begin quarter number 4. Going to the air. Tagovailoa. Throw caught by Achane. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And now third down and 6 to go. That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there, 4th and 3.
And sometimes it doesn't matter how big and strong and powerful you are. The defense is going to win an occasional battle, and they did on that one. Stopped him well short of picking up a first down.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to break our fourth quarter tie. The kick by Sanders is good, and the Dolphins have taken the lead here in the fourth. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The possession switching back to the New York Giants. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this fourth quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
And that's not a play that you see all that often at the start of a drive, but some teams, they don't mind doing it. And that one, well sold by the offensive linemen. They showed the pass, and then they got out into space, able to get some good blocks downfield and allow the play to be successful.
Here's Jaxson with a reception. And they'll get to him right away at the 40. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. They'll set up to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They'll look to throw again. This one is Slayton over the middle. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 25-yard line. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
That's caught left side by Neighbors.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be second down.
So 5 plays on this drive, Charles. All passes, all completions. And just like that, they're in the red zone.
And don't you think the playbook opens up a little bit more now? Because all they've done is throw the football. If you want to run it now, you may very well have them fooled.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. This is caught by Robinson. And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. And they keep those sticks moving forward, that time with a gain of 3.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. On the give, it's Tracy. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
This is 2nd and 8.
They're going to look to throw. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down.
And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 17.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. A 22-yard touchdown grab.
And the Giants have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. Those are the types of plays in these moments they were hoping for from this young rookie, able to put him up here in the 4th quarter.
How about the kid? You just mentioned it, the 4th quarter. This is when you have to make those winning plays. That's what he just did. Doesn't ensure anything, but he certainly gave his team a heck of a chance, didn't he?
Gano for the extra point. And that will make this a 4-point game. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Dolphins offense and Tua Tagovailoa headed back out onto the field. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time.
Now Tua. Short throw to Smith. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
Here's 2nd and 3.
Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line.
Good work on the scamper by Tagovailoa. It's a 1st down.
If they get a game-changing score on this drive, it's going to be because of plays like that. That run was pure heart. Took it himself, found a way to reset the downs, and advance the ball.
Play action. Now it's Tua. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
That was for the lead right there. They know they're in a position where fortune favors the brave. So they took their shot, but couldn't connect.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. It's caught on the right side. It's Smith. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. Tua going to throw. This one thrown underneath to Achane. And he is going to have the Dolphins 1st down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive.
Now Achane on 1st and 10. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Throwing Tua. They set up the screen. Achane has it.
And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here.
Tua. Able to find the open man. That's complete.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game.
Plenty of time and 2 timeouts still at their disposal. 1st and 10 here. Now Tua.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game.
Now 2nd and 4. Here's Tua. He'll dump this off to Achane.
He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow. Wow.
What a game this has been, and what a drive that was, Charles, to take the lead here late in the 4th quarter.
And, partner, that's a job well done by everyone, from the players to the guys calling the plays. And if I may introduce just one downside to the mix, might be a little bit too much time left. Enough on the clock for a final last-ditch effort to try and steal this win away.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. So it's now a 3-point game here in the closing stages, as a field goal now can only tie it. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
Taken at the goal line.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
The Giants offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And we'll take you through some of the highlights here. You'll notice he had a hand in a lot of them so far. He's got this offense rolling right now. They'll come up 1st and 10 here. He'll look to throw. Pass complete to Robinson.
And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds.
Here's 2nd down.
They'll look to throw. Oh, what a heck of an effort there as he'll make the diving catch. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this 4th quarter.
Two timeouts still available in this final minute. It's 1st and 10 now.
Back to throw.
That's caught by Jaxson.
And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Now the Giants will use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
This is 1st and 10.
He's back to throw. His throw incomplete.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a nonstop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock.
Well, this crowd doing their best to make a lot of racket. It's 3rd and 5. Here's Tracy.
And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
Partner, what a finish to this one. I mean, this offense, they had it down there inside the red zone, but ultimately couldn't execute that final snap to find the end zone.
Yeah, and they're going to walk away from this one, and you know what's going to go through their heads the entire time until they get to play again. If we could only have that final snap to do over one more time, maybe with a different play call.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Dolphins are winners here as we say so long from South Florida.